Hello people, I thought I'd do a little video about my other hobbies. One of my other hobbies is, I would call it computing. I'm a bit of a computer nut. This is my laptop. This is pretty much what I look at most of the time when I speak to you guys or chatting around on Facebook. As you can probably guess, this isn't quite one thing or the other. You're probably sitting there thinking that laptop looks a bit strange, is that, or you might be sitting there thinking, is that a Mac? It's not a Mac, it's a standard laptop. It's a Dell. I bought it second hand a few months back, a second hand laptop to have alongside my other second hand laptop that I use for my Windows telly, my media system. This laptop I bought actually for a laptop. It's not the greatest laptop in the world. It was running Windows 10 when I got it. It's a yeah. It's a Core i3 processor, which is the Sandy Bridge, I believe. Let's find it. Where are we? There's details. Yeah, here we go. It's an overview. So we have an Intel Core i3, which is the Sandy Bridge mobile processor, which is a 2.1 gigahertz by 4 strains. It's actually a dual core, which has been split into 4 threads, with 100. Well, it says 144 gigabytes of 500 gigabyte hard drive, but that's what it's usable for. The Ubuntu system with the 14.04 long-term support. That's what the LTS stands for. With 4 gig of RAM. As I say, I paid 70 quid for this laptop. It's actually not too bad. Again, as I say, running Linux. I thought I'd show you a bit about why I choose to run Linux, or I run Linux in parallel with Windows 7, which I've got on one machine. This one's got Windows 10, which pretty much don't actually get used that often. And I've obviously got another machine that is an actual Mac. But obviously this is very similar to Mac, with the format of the Cairo dock, which is stationed at the bottom of the screen. The long-term support, the 14.04 system of Ubuntu, comes fitted standard with a system called Unity. Unity Desktop has its own specific launcher, and the launcher normally lives here, down this side of the screen. Obviously, I used a system called Compass Fusion, which is for screen decoration, and then I have basically nailed the Unity desktop to Unity launcher bar to the left-hand side of the screen, made it as small as possible, and locked it. It doesn't come up very often. It does come up sometimes, I will admit. And then obviously when that come up, it doesn't come up for very long, because I set the timer of it to be really small, to try and give myself the sort of free screen space that you normally get on a Mac. But I'll show you some of the other Compass Fusion edits. I'll do that now. So obviously got back to Cairo dock, very similar to Mac. I am actually nodding my head at the moment as the Firefox symbol's going up and down. There we go. Look, so we've got wobbly windows, which is good for snap, and drag to minimize, drag to shrink. We also, how does that open? I think we might have fold to close. Yeah, fold to close. Is it twist to open? Does it twist open from the bottom? But there's loads of different ways that you can set up your drop down menus, and oh no, it folds open, so I've got it vice versa. Obviously that's the way it looks. Let's go and have a look on Facebook. Facey, what's all kicking off on Facey, is it? It's all kicking off on Facey? No, it was completely dead. I'm obviously not loved. Yeah, so here we go. Nothing really good going on there. Into the saloon of the home of the intimate conversations that with every haircut tells a story. Very nice. Normally does that where it's timing out. This is probably due to the fact that I'm running Kazam. Kazam is the screen recording software I'm using. If you know anything about Linux, you know Linux is a free open source based operating system, and most of the programs that you get for Linux are free. So we have a full Office suite that comes pre-installed with Linux, which is LibreOffice, which is quite good. That'll open up any form of Microsoft Office systems. Obviously, it's got your full-on spell checkers, print file systems, printing options, and all the rest of it. Obviously, there's Calculate, which is for spreadsheets, which is like Excel. You got your basic drawer program. You got Impress, which is like what do they call that, presentation software, as well as having like your basic spreadsheets, Word programs. We have Cheese, which is when I want to record my face through the webcam. We have Kazam, which is used for when I want to record the screen. Clementine, which is a music software. FreeTux TV, which doesn't really work. Kodi, obviously, who doesn't have Kodi. Rhythmbox, which is another music player. Spotify, VLC, which is obviously the music player we use, everyone uses. Basic system utilities. We've also got another thing on here called GIMP, which is very similar to Photoshop, or does the same sort of thing Photoshop does. It even loads up Photoshop programs as well. You know, but it's very nice. I like Linux. I like Linux for the idea of it. I Linux. I mean, Linux is free, so if you want to go and get a copy of Linux, you've got an old laptop sitting around collecting dust, and you want to try something a little bit new, maybe have something a little bit different, give you another option than your standard Windows-based machines, I would definitely suggest Linux to have a try on. Obviously, anyone who knows anything about computers for servers and stuff, or if anyone's running, well, if you run like a server unit or networking, the chances are you'll have a Linux machine running the whole deal. And obviously, most people that run servers will run a is that Fedora Linux? I don't know, but Linux comes in many distributions, many different flavors, many different desktops. I mean, if you ever feel the need, you want to go on Google, or you type in Linux distros. I didn't even put the Linux back. Come on, so there are commercially backed ones. There's Red Hat, Fedora, open source. There's obviously Ubuntu, which is canonical. Daemon, Slackware. There's loads. I mean, there's Linux Mint, which is a KDE desktop. Oh yeah, and obviously Apple's got the Apple. Windows has got that windowy thing, and a butterfly. We've got the penguin. Yes, to meet Tux the Linux penguin. You got to have a Tux in your life. There's Raspberry. Linux runs on Raspberry Pi. It also is the operating system that runs your Android phone. There is lots and lots of Linux. There's pretty much a Linux for everyone. I'm hammering my processor at the moment with the screen recording, so very sorry about that. As I say, it's always good to have a different option. Generally, you find that a lot of the stuff is originally designed for Linux, and then it comes on to other systems. But this is another one of my hobbies, running around on computers, trying to find different programs to do different things. So a bit boring really. Just shows you how much of a geek I am and how sad my life is. But if any of you have an old computer lying around and think, I don't use that, that's pretty much being used as a paperweight for that big stack of paperwork over there, fancy doing something a little bit different on it, chuck a version of Linux on it and have a look. But yeah, this is I'm going to sign off the recording now, because obviously I'm probably boring the fuck out of 99% of everyone ever. But, I like it. It's good. So, if you got any questions about having a go on Linux, or other programs that are available on Linux, or what are the benefits of running Linux, chuck me a comment in the comments, or or don't. But it's very boring. So anyway, I'll speak to you guys later. Anyway, I'm off to bed, because it's, as you can see, it's 23:24, and enjoy the rest of your bank holiday. Anyway, see you later. Tatty bye. Love you all. Bye bye.